What up, big bands? Barbers! What's going on, everybody? I go by the name of Marvy Marv, and you are now tuned in to another live episode of the Barbers podcast. And this is the conversation that you've all been waiting for. Barbers, where you tapping in from in the chat? Let us know in the chat. I got Deluxe. You see him over there. He backed up a little bit, gave himself some space. He has some distance now. He said, I ain't going to get too close to you, Marv.
Listen, motherfuckers, I'm a loud fuck, all right? So the microphone, I don't want to hurt your fucking ears because I know there's some bitches in here. I know some people are going to get offended. It's going to be what it is. I'm going to sit back and relax, all right?
All right, so that's how you come, and you're just going to that's how you're going to talk to him. Just like that? That's how you're going to do it?
No, like, look at the comments. Look at all the fucks in the comments, bro. Like, I already know. Like, it is what it is.
Barbers! So, Marvy Marv has his viewpoints on a lot of different things in the barber industry. Deluxe has his viewpoints on a lot of different things in the barber industry. And when Marv has shared some things, there's been quite a few times where people said, yo, Marv, so what do you think about Deluxe? Deluxe shares some things. People hit him up. Yo, you see what Marv's saying? How you feel about what Marv's saying? So we are thinking, you know what? Rather than just sit there and go back and forth in the comments with people, I think it's time for us to just have a conversation about it. I mean, why not? Right? Why not? If Deluxe is seeing things totally different than Marvy Marv, if Deluxe has a problem with the way Marvy Marv views things, and he has a problem with the, as he likes to say, OG mentality, and Marvy Marv is sick and tired of people talking about what they're charging for haircuts, sick and tired of seeing this guy paid me $250 a haircut. Let's talk about it. Let's see if there's some common ground or if we just do totally see things different, right? Why not? So seeing as this is on my platform and Deluxe has went out of his way when he didn't have to be on my platform, first and foremost, I want to say thank you, bro, and I appreciate you for that because it takes some courage to hop up on Marv's platform and being here with all of these sharks. I appreciate you for that.
Of course.
But I got questions for you, dog. I got questions for you. The barber industry's got some questions for you. And the first question that I want to ask you is, do you feel like you're misunderstood? Do you feel like your movement is misunderstood? What you represent is misunderstood? Because I'm sure you see a lot of the comments. We'll get into some of that.
Sure.
You see a lot of the way people view things, and you see a lot of the things that people say. You see some of the things that I posted recently. Do you feel like there's a misunderstanding when it comes to you and what you're doing?
I think people are going to take it however they're going to take it, right? Like, I know for me, the way I put out information, the way I speak, my aggressive nature, my bluntness, it's going to rub some people the wrong way, right? Like, not everybody's going to agree with me. That's fucking fine. I'm not here to be everybody's favorite overall. I'm just here to go ahead and speak my truth. I'm here to have fun. I'm here to engage with people how I like to engage authentically. I'm not trying to go ahead and put on a front. If honestly, like, even on social media, man, like, if people know me in person, I'm a little bit more of a sick fuck, right? I like sick jokes. I cuss all the time. People in the program know I make off topic like comments, right? We have a thing in the program where we talk about if somebody gets like a good goal, I call it, it's getting me girthy. It's getting me an erection, right? Sure. Is that going to rub some people the wrong way? Fine. But you know what? It's me having fun. It's me being authentic. Me trying to be all corporate, me trying to be all dressed up nice is not something I'm about, right? I think everybody should live their truth. Some people who are corporate rub me the wrong way, right? I don't like clean cut people overall. And that's just going to be the way it is overall for me.
So before we got into this, before we decided to set this up and promote and advertise this and market this, there's been this Marv versus Deluxe unsaid thing that's been created.
Yeah.
Where do you think that stems from?
I think it's I mean, obviously we have some opposing views. I mean, if you could call it that. I think we should have different views on the way we see some things in the barber industry, the way we view business overall. I think people like to go and take a narrative and kind of spin it out of control. I mean, like overall, dude, like I've known you since like 2019. I think are there some things I agree with that you say? Fuck no. Are there some things that you agree with that I say? Fuck no. Right. But that doesn't mean we fucking are like all of a sudden like I'm over here like in bed writing in my journal, fuck Marvy Marv, I can't wait to fucking burn. I'm like, it's nothing like that, right? But yeah, I think it just comes from people like kind of maybe reading a little bit too into it. They want to fantasize. Maybe they get an erection over seeing some drama, right? But I'm not over here trying to like curse Marvy Marv or summon some demons for him. I'm just gonna go over here and play my game overall.
I love it.
What about you, man? I mean, do you feel like again too there is some, first of all, do you feel like there is any animosity between us, and where do you feel like that even comes from?
So what I would encourage you guys tapped in to do is first go back to, I think it's like, go on the Marvy Marv Barbers podcast on whatever platform you listen to podcasts on, and go listen to me and Deluxe have a conversation back in 2019. All right, go enjoy that, right? Because you'll hear the first, not the first conversation, but the first podcast we did, and you will see, you'll see where we connected. You'll see where we vibed. You also see how different we were as people, how we view things different. And I'm a totally different person these days. Deluxe is a totally different person these days. But it will be cool for you just to go back and hear that, just to see kind of where our relationship started. I could say that since then, we did talk since then, but since then, we haven't had a podcast like this, right? We haven't had long conversations like this. Dan, do I call you Daniel or Deluxe? What do people call you nowadays?
That's a fair question. Like when I was a barber, man, like, first of all, I want to give kudos to you too, because like, since that time, I've seen you grow, seen you develop it yourself as an online brand as well, and also seen you grow tremendously with your following, as well as like just being a voice for others as well too. To answer the question, man, overall, when I was a barber, I wanted to be Deluxe, right? That was like a character shift in me. Everybody knew me as Daniel prior. I kind of had this idea of who Daniel was, but I had an idea of who Deluxe was, and that was very, very different. When I started when I got out of barbering, right, and I went into running an online business like the New Era Barbering, started that company, I'm like, it's kind of childish to be called Deluxe, right? Like Steve Jobs wasn't called, I don't know, like some made up name, right? Jeff Bezos wasn't called some made up name. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go back to Daniel Contreras overall. People still call me Deluxe. Like people in the program, like, hey, Deluxe. I'm like, yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind Daniel though. I just kind of go by Daniel now.
So you Daniel now. You like how 50 Cent became Curtis Jackson. Gotcha.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you'll see. Go back, listen to that podcast. You'll see how different we were, and we've built a relationship since then. Not as much. We don't talk or communicate as much anymore. Daniel's too busy doing his thing. I'm doing my thing. We're moving, right? But again, there has been this unsaid like thing where it's kind of been created where it's like Deluxe or Marv, Deluxe or Marv, Deluxe or Marv. And I think where it mainly comes from is, at least from my end, is it starts when I start talking to what I feel is the everyday barber, and the barber that can benefit off of the practical advice I give. So for example, I say things like do 40-minute or 30-minute haircuts, $40 a cut, $50 a cut, bang 2 out an hour, get some buzz cuts in, bang 3 out in an hour. You can make really good money behind the chair. But then you come in and all the Eagles up in here come in, shout outs to your movement, and y'all start talking wild, right? And it's $250 a cut here, $500 a cut here, $100 a cut here, kids still in barber school. So I think that's kind of where it initially started. I at least think is more so whenever I posted something with price, and maybe you've posted something with price. I think that's where it stems from. What are your thoughts on that? Is that?
I think people can easily take that, right? You know, I think my belief, like I know you say you're for the everyday barber. I'm kind of saying, yo, I think the everyday barber can be audacious. I think the everyday barber can think bigger, right? I almost like if people think like I'm aggressive or like they hate me, I just don't feel like they like being pushed. Because I'm someone who wants to push people to do more, be more, become more, right? Because I think there is no joy in life of just staying the same, staying comfortable. Like nothing happens great when you just stay comfortable. Like nobody watches a great movie just see the protagonist, the main character, kind of live a regular day life, right? We want to see the protagonist go through struggles, go through this journey, go through this evolution. I think it's like what life is all about. And so I know for myself, I went through, again, in 2 years, I was in a stuck fuck mindset of being just quote unquote like the everyday barber, kind of just going to work, doing my thing. Look, is it respectable? Sure. If somebody's happy with that, phenomenal. But I think there's a great amount of barbers, especially new barbers coming in this industry, who don't want that fucking life, man. They just don't want to go and live that life. They want more for themselves. Yet, all that's being preached to them and all that's out there from like whether it be the 10-year OG vets or what they hear at barber seminars, whatever the dumbasses over the barber college want to preach them because they couldn't fucking cut hair in a shop, want to preach them of like, hey man, come in early, stay late, do all this stuff, right? But they want more. And I'm like, that was me. And I wish I had that voice out there of like, that the audacious risk taker, that person that doesn't mind putting their fist in the fire, doesn't mind living in the chaos, right? It's like, hey, we can achieve this. You can do more, right? I come from a sports background. I'm pretty sure you do too. I didn't play sports to fucking lose. I didn't play sports to tie. I play sports to win, man. I love playing games to win. So I think, to answer your question, I think that is kind of where maybe the also to back on that, where maybe some of the people think, oh, we might be against each other. I'm pushing where they might see you more of like, oh, this is for the everyday barber. In a sense, you're still helping people like overall, again, go to a different pathway. Do I agree with it? No. I mean, but if somebody's happy with that life, phenomenal. I'm happy for you. But it doesn't mean they have to settle for that too.
I agree with pretty much all of that. And I think that most people tapped into this live probably agree with a lot of that. I think where you start to lose me and you start to lose probably a lot of people tapped in, and there's a lot of people that, obviously you don't lose, you keep around. But I think you start to lose people when you say that barbers can make $20K a month from behind the chair doing 20 cuts a week. Sure. And my response to that, and you could tell me your thoughts, is I personally think that you are more likely to get struck by lightning 20 times than to make 20K a month from behind the chair on just 20 cuts. So I think that's where it starts to get a little weird for people, because it's like, okay, 20K a month, 20 cuts. How would you respond to that? What do you say to that?
First of all, it's a small mindset. It's a small fuck mindset. And as brash as that sounds, like, overall, I'm just a believer in anything's possible, right? I always think anybody can achieve whatever they want to. If some people don't want to believe that, that's fine. I'm not here to go and switch your mindset. We have barbers, again, like Joel, who was doing that. He was doing about 20 cuts a week, getting upwards of 20K a month. South Bay Chris is anywhere between 20, 25, 26, doing 5K weeks. So at the end of the day, like, that's fine. People can doubt whatever, but at the end of the day, like, what they're doing in the business, I'm kind of seeing what the results are. Again, too, I'm not here to go ahead and try to sway people like, oh man, if you don't believe it, believe it, believe it, believe it, believe what you want, man. Right? End of the day, like, if you believe you can only make 8K a month, great. You can only make 8K a month. If you believe you can make 20K a month, phenomenal. You're going to figure out a way. I think the human mind is so adaptable and so open to go ahead and, like, whatever challenge or whatever it sets its mind to, it will figure out. It's a great problem solving machine. So we'll figure out how to solve the problem as long as okay, cool. If I want this goal, how can I achieve it? I think it's the wrong mindset to say to barbers, 20K a month, not possible. When there are barbers that are doing that, even barbers we haven't even helped. I see barbers in the fucking comments like, well, I do it. I fucking make 20K a month. I don't do your program. I'm like, great. Right? Phenomenal. Let's make this even bigger, because, like, I want barbers to succeed. I think the biggest thing and the biggest challenge I think a lot of barbers go through that I've talked to, man, is behind the scenes. Yeah, they can be making 8K a month. Man, some of these people, dude, they got fucking a shitty life, right? They got bills out the ass. They got kids they got to take care of. And I'm saying shitty in terms of stress, right? Not shitty of like their lifestyle's a piece of dog shit. They just incurred a lot of expenses. And you know what? Maybe even cool. Maybe they are making $8K a month. Maybe they aren't struggling. But guess what? Some of those people got to do a fuck ton of haircuts. And guess what they're doing? Missing out on that family time. I don't think that's fair to them. I don't think it's fair as business owners that we get into a business that's being restrictive and pulling us away from families or things that we want to do just to make some fucking cash. Everybody wants to make me out to be a villain of like, oh, you care about is cash. I don't care. Like, if all I care about is cash, man, I would just fucking put an IV to my fucking vein of caffeine, whatever the fuck is going to keep me awake, right? Adderall, and just be fucking working 24/7. I want to do things outside. I want to go and have a life as well, too. I think barbers do as well. And I think a lot of people are kind of fed up with that lifestyle. And the younger generation, especially barbers, foresee what the future is of like that 40-year-old OG barber vet who's been doing it for 10 years, stuck in the same position, cutting behind the chair. And like, dude, this is shit. I don't want to do that because that was me. I got in the barber industry because honestly, I dropped out of community fucking college. So I'm not a smart fuck, right? I'm not like some crazy genius. Dropped out of community college and I was like, I'm going to do this barber thing. And then I was so gung-ho. I was like, man, this barber thing is going to be the answer for me. I'm going to go all the way in. And then when I saw everybody being restricted, everybody kind of not living the life I want to live, literally they're just chained to the fucking chair being a slave 7 days a week, 12, 14 hours out of the day. I was like, dude, I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. I don't want to be 40 years old doing that. I don't want to miss out. Let's say if I have kids, I want to be there for my family at some point in time. If I have a spouse, I don't want her being like nagging me all the fucking time. Sure, I can provide monetarily wise. But what about time wise, right?
I hear you. I just where it gets lost is I agree with the whole we got to think bigger. I agree that the mind can, if you can believe it, you can conceive it. I believe in all of that, right?
And let's not make it too woo-woo. I'm not a big woo-woo guy, but
I do. But at what point does it become unrealistic? Because it becomes unrealistic. And the problem that I think a lot of people have with you is the way you create your content and put your message out. You put it out as if 20K a month is practical and people are just doing that. When in actuality, less than 10% of America, period, are making above 100K, 150K a year.
Sure.
And if we're talking about the barber industry, I would say it's probably 1% of barbers that are making 100K.
But why not give them?
But then you say,
why not give them a goal, man? Like, again, we got to give them some type. Like, why not give them like, hey, this, like, I thought it was restricted. I thought, fuck, I'm only sucking. Why not give them a bigger goal?
I get it, but okay, why not 50K a month then?
Because we haven't done that. I'm not going to say something we haven't done. That would be deceiving motherfuckers. I'm not like, I didn't say make 20K a month until we were able to do that in the bar. I'm like, oh shit, it's possible. Okay. Like, the funny thing was, man, I mean, again, you know this. I started with a social media course, right? Teaching barbers how to do social media. Everybody was on my ass. Oh, nah. Like, all you do is teach social media. This doesn't correlate to business or like charging more, getting clients. All right, fine. I'm like, bet. Now I got to get barbers to figure out how to get them up to $100 a cut. Did that. They're like, oh, $100 a cut. Yeah, but you guys just charge more. Like, all you do is up prices. You don't really make that much money. All right, bet. Get 20K a month. Oh, yeah, but that's not like, it's always the goalpost is always going forward. And like, guess what? I'm not complaining. That's just how people are going to be. And that's fine, right? People are going to go ahead and complain and like always try to push the goalpost further. I'm just saying, hey, in due time, everybody's going to understand. Because 5 years ago, that's what everybody's saying. Oh, it's just social media. Now everybody's just saying, oh, it's just 20K. Phenomenal. Let's say another 5 fucking years. What do we got?
It's the problem is for me as being a critic.
Sure.
For me, being a critic from the outside looking in.
100%. You should play that. You should do that too. Critique this thing.
It's Jay Faded, South Bay Chris, right? These guys, HH from Australia.
Henry Hong.
Right? But then everybody else, you know, like the people spamming the comment section, they ride for you, bro. You got this Andrew Tate thing going. You got these, they're on lock for you.
I don't know, man. Hey, she just shaved the head, bro. It's something with the bald head.
You got the Andrew Tate thing going. You do. But then these guys come in the comment section And they do say the think bigger mentality type stuff,
Mhm.
the let's shoot for the stars type stuff and all of that. And everybody's thinking small minded and all of that stuff. But then it's very easy to click on their page, go to their bio, you see what they're charging. You've seen some of the videos you post.
Sure.
They post.
Sure.
And when you look at their book, there's openings for the next 10 years.
Sure.
So how do you explain that? And why is that good? Because I know one of your counters to me is you don't believe in getting booked out.
I don't at all.
So, but when you're looking at something when if I'm looking today, it's Tuesday, and I go to so-and-so's page and he's got 1.5 hour slots, all openings. How do you explain that?
Yeah. So I'll take an example in business, man. All right. Steve Jobs, I think he only owned about 1% of Apple, right? The company he fucking built. Ground up, right? Steve Jobs, face the company. Everybody can go ahead and be like, 1%. What the actual fuck, man? You only got 1%? But we have to think about what is the actual result of that 1%. Apple's a $300 billion company. That 1% adds up to a fucking lot. You can have 0% of nothing, of complete dog shit, right? Or 100% of complete dog shit, I'm sorry, right? I don't think what matters is the booking out rate, but what is the end result? Sure, South Bay, Chris and Joel, a lot of the barbers, yeah, they ain't got things booked out whatsoever. But what's the result at the end of the month? 20K a month, 17K a month, 25K a month. Tough. Went from 3K a month when he first moved from Las Vegas to Miami. Zero clientele into a private suite. Zero clientele, zero walk-ins. Month 1, 3K. By month 5, he already passed 10K. I don't think, again, the booking out thing is the booked out bullshit to me, to be quite honest with you, just means I'm restricted how much I can make. And now I cannot even make any more for the next 3 months. In a business, it's about how much more can I scale. I'm now restricted. And in order to make more, guess what? I got to fucking work even harder. That's not something I want to sign up for at all. I want to make sure if I can go ahead and fill up more slots, I'm still making 20K, I can make even more than that. Fucking phenomenal, right? End of the month, what's the result? Because again, we can take a barber who's fucking booked all the way out for 3, 6, 12 months, fucking 3 fucking years if your asshole wants it, right? Awesome. Making 4K, 6K a month. Or take a barber who's barely booked out a day or two in advance, 20K months, 15K months, 25K months. I'll take the latter all day long. Business is about taking risks, right? And understanding where you're going to be projecting at. I get some barbers want to go ahead and have that safety net. I think that's more of a restrictive net than a safety net, right? The safety net is, what's my skill set in this thing? Can I generate new clients at a high rate? And guess what? Yes, if you're a booked out barber, you probably aren't really going after generating new clients because you're pretty fucking comfortable. In order to scale a business, you kind of need to be uncomfortable. You need to have a little fire under your ass, right? I know you can agree to that, Marv. You need a little bit of a stressor, right? But you need to make sure at the end of the month, you're all good to go. Yes, they are not booked out, but they are getting the result at the very end of the month, and they're happy with that, right? Some people, again, too, if again, too, your situation, there are certain situations where like, look, fuck, I got a family. I got to go and provide. I got to make sure I have all that stuff. I can understand that. Shit, Tough came in to our program. He's got a kid. He's got a wife to provide for. He's got bills. He had a shop he had to pay for as well, too. Guy was 20K in credit card bills and credit card debt, right? Did not give a fuck. He's like, hey, I'm a fucking winner. I'm going to make this shit work. Ramped it the fuck up. I think it just separates the winners from the losers. And not to say people like, again, too, are booked out are losers, but again, too, who's going to go ahead and rise to the top? Everybody loves to go ahead and see, again, too, the Super Bowl. Why? High stakes. If you can't perform in that in business, man, what the fuck we doing? That's a fun in it too, right? It's boring at that. Like, I'm sure everybody in the chat can agree. It's boring just going in and cutting hair 12 hours, 16 hours of the day, doing the redundant bullshit. It's fun growing the business. How many of my EM guys are actually finally having fun growing the fucking business, doing something progressive for themselves? It's not fun just doing the same thing day in and day out for the rest of your life. That's boring. I'm not here to live that life. If some people want to live that life, again, that's their fucking decision. Not for me, though. You know, and I think a lot of people agree with that too. I think that's where it rubs people wrong. It's like, man, I got to do this, got to do that. I get it. Everybody has their shit. But at some point in time, some people, they rise to the top.
So when it comes to the booked out idea, I'm in agreement with you that being booked out is not a great idea.
Sure.
All right. And in your
even though you post it. Even though you post it.
So in my content piece that I posted, it said being booked is the goal. It doesn't say being booked out. It says being booked. Shout out to your content piece, by the way. It was great.
Shout out to, dude, yours was phenomenal too. Great. Hey, chat, give us some fire emojis if you were fucking with Marv's content. If you thought he was taking shots, put some fucking fire emojis in there. That shot, hey, motherfucker was shooting shots, motherfucker.
I was shooting. So I said being booked is the goal, not necessarily booked out, right? And I was the barber too at one point that believed being booked out weeks in advance was the goal, right? And there are a lot of barbers that pride themselves on that, where it's like, I'm booked 2 months in advance. And for me, all that does is it shows me simple supply and demand. Bro, your demand is high. You're clearly not charging enough. You shouldn't be booked out months in advance. For me, my stance on this is I don't think a barber should be booked out more than a week, maybe 2 weeks tops. And when I say booked out, I don't mean 100% booked. Sure. I mean 80% booked. Sure. So simple math. If you got 10 slots to be able to cut, you do 8 of those a day on average, you're 80% booked out. For me personally, I think if you're doing that consistently and you're booked out a week or two, at that point, you should go up in your price, right? You obviously disagree with that. So for you, how does at what point do you raise your price? Because I think at least from my end, when I'm looking at the people sending all the Eagles in my chat and they not booked out a day in advance, for me, it's like, okay, well, are these people who are paying $150 a cut, $200 a cut, to sit in a chair for an hour and a half, are they just walking in? Is that when you're filling up? Are you filling up the day of? Or are they just coming in? They're just like, hey, bro, you're free. I'm free. Here's $400. How is it working? In theory, yeah, of course it makes sense, right? Yeah. If we do the math and it's like, all right, of course, if I can do 4 haircuts for an hour and get paid $1,000 a cut, I'd rather do that than 16 cuts at $50. Of course, the math makes sense, but practically, that's where it gets tricky, because it's like, okay, they're not even booked up 2 days in advance. So where is this $20K a month coming from? So my question is, at what point do you feel like they're booked enough to raise their prices?
Booking rate doesn't mean squat shit to me, to be honest with you, right? Like how many like cuts are they doing a month is a more conducive thing to understand. Like, again, too, is this business good enough to go ahead and sustain that? But even at the booked out rate, it doesn't mean you get new clients. Like the whole reason to raise price, what Marvy knows, what happens when we raise prices?
Oh, so for me, right, if I'm telling you 80% booked up, for you're booked out a week,
Marv, what happens when you raise prices? What happens when you raise prices?
I'm gonna get to it. When you raise your price, the goal should be to lose at least one or two of those clients per week and drop it down to about 60% booked up, 70% booked up. So that way you still have openings to acquire new clients, but you're not sacrificing your whole book to where it's like, all right, now I raised them too high, I lost all my clients. No, you lose a few, you still make the same amount of money or more, but now you open up your books for new clients at the new price point. To me, that's a lot more sustainable. So what are your thoughts on that? Like, how do you?
Yeah, could have been answered in 3 words. You lose clients.
Right.
No, but like,
but it matters though, because so for me, it matters because, all right, you lose clients, but you don't want to lose all of your clients. You want to lose some. You want to go from 80% booked up capacity to maybe 60, 50. That would suck a little bit, maybe, right? But you don't want to go from, so what do you go from 20% booked up to 0% booked up? How does it work practically? I get what you're saying, mathematically, but how is it applied practically?
Sure. So for a third time, again, when you raise prices, you lose clients, right? What does being booked out, how does that correlate to generating new clients coming in the business?
So being booked keeps you having a sustainable income. So if you're used to being booked out, you have 80%
that was a dramatic
booked out.
pause, Marv. That wasn't a question.
What happened?
That was a dramatic pause.
Oh, yours was a dramatic pause.
Yeah, it
All
was a
right,
dramatic pause. It wasn't a question.
I was waiting for a second. I'm like, all right.
Sorry, no. Dramatic
for
pause.
me, that's what it
motherfucker.
is. You can sustain the income, but
Sorry, yeah. Like next time,
it,
like question, dramatic pause after it. No.
Yeah.
So like again too, when you raise prices, you lose clients. What does being booked out correlate to getting new clients? It doesn't, right? What are you going to be? I'm a booked out barber. Oh my God, come get a haircut from me. No, like nothing. Like you do marketing, right? Marketing generates new clients. So that's the thing you need to be focused on. So if we understand when we raise prices, we're going to lose clients. Being booked out does not correlate to marketing and generate new clients in the system, right? Then we need to look at the marketing. What is the marketing doing? We understand from front end reach all the way to back end new clients converted. What are the conversion rates all the way through? If it's healthy rates all the way through and we can sustain it and we can take a hit, because again, too, whenever we raise prices, it's a brand new business, right? Because a $50 client is completely different than a $100 client. These are two different businesses that are going to attract two different clients overall, right? So we need to make sure we have a good enough marketing at that level to sustain us up to getting new clients in, maybe not the rate that we're getting $50 clients, but enough to go ahead and sustain us overall. On top of that, we do a price increase. Sure, we're going to cut a decent amount of our clientele overall, but you're going to be making, again, too, cutting way less, which then puts more time into understanding how do we need to grow the business? What are the flaws in this marketing? What does this new market need? And how do we need to market to this new clientele? While we're still making money, we have new spots to fill business back up again. So for me, again, too, it's not about being booked out. It's, again, too, how many total cuts they're doing overall? Is the marketing conversions correct? And last but not least, the most important thing that I think you also know that motherfuckers always fuck up, do we have cash reserves? Because we always, like, I call it having a war chest. Because when you raise prices, it's wartime, baby, right? You don't want to get caught without your guns. So can you survive if all hell breaks loose? If we made a terrible mistake, which again, too, we track everything in terms of like marketing content, in terms of what we're doing overall. Do we have enough cash reserves to last us for a decent enough time? If $0 comes in for an extended period amount of time, are we good? Right? That gives us a lot of confidence to be like, okay, cool. Gives us time when to build the business back up again, work on the marketing. By the time the marketing's worked back up, takes about 45, 60 days. Awesome. We're back off to the races. We're scaling the bitch up again.
So I agree where with barbers need to get better with their money, right? We gotta start saving it, because no matter how much you're making, no matter what you're charging, if it's just in one pocket and out the other, that's where you get to be the OG that Daniel is talking about.
Driving the beat up Honda, struggling to pay bills.
That's where you get to be that one. But in defense of the OGs, it's interesting how I'm an OG now, because I don't view myself as that, right? But I guess
once you cross 40, then we can say OG. You kind of like you on the edge.
I'm 37, handsome, looking better than ever.
Do you have any grays? Do you have any
grays? I got a lot of grays. That's why I keep a skin fade to get rid of them.
You know, I probably got more grays than you, man. You straight. Trust me.
They come. What was I saying? I just lost.
I was flattering you. You know, my bad.
Yeah, you flirting with me. You get me all giggly. Yo, chat. What was I just saying? I lost my train of thought. The OGs. So, one of the things that you preach a lot, and a lot of your people preach is work smarter, not harder, right?
Sure.
And a lot of the people that you've worked with, and even what you believe in, is these hour and 15-minute haircuts, hour and a half long haircut, right? And that's what you guys do. And you feel
I don't know if we like, I don't push. I just say whatever time frame is going to take you enough to do a good haircut, good. If you can do an hour, phenomenal. So,
got you. So that's what I see in a lot of them is an hour, 15 minutes, hour 30, right? So my question to you, I want to know your thoughts on this, because people always say work smarter, not harder, right?
Sure.
And okay, so if you have one barber that is doing that one cut an hour, right, and they're charging $75 a cut, and you have another barber that's doing 2 haircuts in that hour, and they're charging $40 a cut, You feel that the barber that's doing 2 haircuts in an hour is working harder?
100%. Like, and I get the argument, right? And like, for me, I was not the barber. Like, if anybody's tried to cut hair faster, it's a little fucking stressful. You're like, oh my God, what the fuck?
It depends. It depends on the cut.
100. Again, if it's an all even type of easy thing, but if you're doing like, again, the typical ball fade and stuff like that, again, to like doing a crop style, you're like, oh my God, how can I fit this? I didn't want that stress. I don't want to go into work every single day. I know I talk about putting pressure, having stress. When I was cutting hair, I wanted to be an art form, right? Like, I know everybody, oh, you're not for the art, you're not for this, you're not for that. Subscribe, motherfuckers, right? Oh, you're not for this, you're not for that. But like, for me, I enjoyed at least like taking my time, getting my art. Nice. Getting my art. Why do you put the capital L? You made me look like I'm taking a huge L for no reason, man.
Yeah, I know. That wasn't intentional.
No, that's a fucking intention, right? Yeah. All right, motherfucker.
It's good to know for the future.
Yeah. Anyways, I think for myself personally, I think a lot of barbers agree, right? Doing fucking 2-3 haircuts in an hour, fuck, that's high stress. You're high, dude. I gotta be drinking a fuck ton of caffeine. I gotta be dialed the fuck in. I'd rather take my time, take an hour, still get paid for the same amount, right? Take it easy, pace myself to where I'm not over. Like, I do think that's working harder. I gotta rush everything, in my personal opinion. Now, if somebody goes ahead and does that on autopilot and do some simple haircuts all day long, or they just have a fucking system that's set up, happy for you. Congrats. I'm not that way, and also I feel a lot of barbers aren't that way either, right? So I'm just that voice again too. If some barbers want to cut faster, phenomenal. I don't think a good majority of them want to, because I didn't want to do that shit either. I just talk about things also too I was not with, right? Like, again, too, I was not with doing 12, 14-hour days. That seemed hellacious to me. 5-7 days out of the week. I don't want to do that. Give me my 7 to 8 hours. I don't give a fuck if some scrubby OG is gonna be, you're not a real fucking barber. Go ahead and cough on dust, bitch, right? Because like, I'm not gonna be standing there that long. I want to come in, go do my cuts, make the money, go ahead, dip, and then go ahead and continue building the business. I think overall, a lot of barbers align with that. And a lot of the new barbers, they just don't want to feel that internal pressure. And if that doesn't make them a real barber, fuck it. I was never a real barber. Don't call me a fucking barber then, right?
I think though, a lot of the pressure, because I felt it too, right? I think a lot of the pressure though comes from this idea that you got to be an Instagram barber and you got to give the perfect blurriest fades. They got to be getting posted on all of these repost pages. So we put this additional stress on ourselves to create perfection, which actually doesn't exist, right? And we drive ourselves crazy to do that. And I think if you can get to the point, I think this is what happens for a lot of OGs, not all of them, but a lot of them. You get to the point where you realize that the only opinion that matters at the end of the day is the client's, right? The person that's in your chair. Their opinion is the only one that matters. Sure. Mine don't, Deluxes don't, Daniels don't, Marlins don't. None of our opinions matter, right? The clients matter, right? So you get to the point where you know that even though you could spend an extra 15 minutes perfectly perfecting this, most people can't tell the difference between a good haircut and a great haircut. People can tell the difference between a bad haircut and a good one, not a good and a great one. Most people can't. All right. And I see, I'm going to
probably haven't gotten a great haircut. So when you get that one, you're like, boy, all right, I've changed my fucking life.
For sure. But to piggyback off of that, though, at the same time, there's a lot. Okay, so if you get that great haircut and it's amazing, and the one you're used to getting was $40, this one's $50, you're cool. It's $60, you're cool. Goes up to $75. Now you're like, I'm gonna go back to that other one. It's cool. With you don't care about that. You're on to the next thing, right? But fine. So for me, and I think the more beneficial way for barbers to build is to cater to the biggest pool of people. I think that's the fastest way that barbers can build and get to that, for me, realistic behind the chair. Sure. 8K, 10K, 12K a month. That's putting you at over $100,000 behind the chair. 100%. To me, and I think most people agree that's practical. That's more real. That's realistic, right? You say you don't care about none of that, right?
No, I agree with. I like that. That is practical. But again, if you want more, then but where's the restrictions playing that?
Well. So for me, the way I see it, right, is it's you get booked up at a comfortable rate. You're cutting, right? So 30 minutes, whatever, 45 minutes, even an hour, right? You get yourself up to that let's say it's that 8-10K a month. Okay. You're in the top 1% of barbers at that point. You're the 1%, right? So now at that point, for me, the strategy that I always like to share, and obviously I'll hear your thoughts on this, but then at that point, depending on how booked you are, obviously you can raise your prices. Depending on how you feel like, you can raise your prices. But for me, I think the most valuable thing is the time. So the way that I moved, in a way that I would like to see barbers move, they do what they want, but the way I would like to see it is that's when you start to free up time. You've hit that 8K point, that 10K point. Now you free up time. If you're working 5 days a week, now you drop it down to maybe 4 days a week. You got that extra day off to create content, work on the business, do whatever you want to do. Cut it down to 3 days a week. I'm at the spot now. I'm in the shop 2 days a week. More so there for the morale, the camaraderie, the everything else that comes with the shop, right? But you now are putting yourself in a position to make those numbers that you were making working 5 days a week, only working 3 days a week, having the rest of the week to do some of that other stuff that you want to do. Yeah. And it obviously it's my opinion, but I personally feel like the faster route for barbers to get there is to cater to the biggest pool of people and the most sustainable pool of people. It doesn't make sense to think that, and I can't wrap my mind around it. Maybe that's where you're just like, all right, whatever, you're never going to get it. It doesn't make sense for me to see a barber without any bookings, constantly raising their prices, not making nearly 20K, but for some reason they're keeping this belief that if they keep doing it, they're going to get to 20K. I just think at some point they're still going to hit that same ceiling of 8, 10, probably 12K at that point. And then it's like, okay, maybe they start diving into these other places. I just don't think practically the fastest way to get them there is by.
And to argue that point, like, again, some people, they just don't want to do all those fucking haircuts, Marv, right? Like, not everybody wants to do that many fucking cuts. Like, I think that's the point. Like,
but I hear you, but we're barbers, bro. We're barbers. We're barbers. We got barbers.
I never wanted to be called a barber. I'm a businessman, right? I just cut hair for a living.
That's what it is.
I just cut hair for a living, right? Barber, because the stigma of barbers, man, you go in, you smoke some weed, you chill. You said the word I absolutely hate. And anybody that comes on my Q&A calls, I run them through the ringer. I hate whenever anybody says the word comfortable. Right. Again, too, you could say all the, oh, it's so fucking, it irks the fuck out of me. I hate feeling comfortable. I hate feeling that way. But like, again, I think it's like, man, you could look at fucking music. Things always change. There's changing of the guards and everything, man. I think these new guys in the industry, these younger guys, hell, some of these older guys have been running the model. They're fucking tired of this shit, man. They're tired of the old way. They don't want to run that model. It's fucking restricted. It's killing their bodies. You know, fucking damn well. Fucking back hurts. Head hurts after the end of the day. Can barely fucking think on your drive home. Shoulders hurting, right? Some guys don't want to have that life. And some guys are even tired of that after like fucking 2 years. Do you have the OGs? Suck it up, young buck. Shut the fuck up. No, I don't want to live your life. I don't want to be like you, man. Right? Shit. Why would I take advice from a fucker that I don't want to live life like? Right? End of the day, man, I'll give you a great example. If motherfucker, I was driving to the airport one day, right? I know this is getting off topic, but like, this is why I never take advice from people. I'm like, dude, I would never want to live your fucking life. I'm driving to a fucking Uber to a fucking airport, right? It's 5 a.m. This guy's trying to start a conversation, right? I'm over here like, yeah, man, I run a business. And when I was coming out to Miami to look for places, going out to Miami to look for places. He's like, brother, you're so focused on business. It's about family. It's about wife. It's about kids. I'm like, dude, you're driving me in a fucking Uber. Why am I going to fucking listen to your advice when your advice has literally gotten you driving me in an Uber X to the airport at 5 a.m? I'm not going to, if I took your advice, I'm going to be an Uber driver too. Right. And so I think a lot of these guys, they see these lives that the OGs are living. And they're like, I don't want that fucking shit. Right. I don't want to live that life. I don't want my back broken. I don't want to be struggling, stressing to pay bills. I don't want to have to be, again, cutting hair all day. I like days, months after months. I don't want to be in there, again, too, missing out on family time, missing out on personal time. I want something different. Cool. Right. Well, we have a model that can go and get you up there. Is that for everybody? No. Again, too, to your point, you talked about, again, too, these guys who are raising their prices. We see the internal. You guys are just seeing the external things. You guys see the glitz and glam on Instagram. What's happening? Like, damn well what's happening on Instagram ain't real life, right? What you see on Instagram, there's a whole different story behind the scenes. Everybody's on Q&A calls, all the barbers in the program. Shit, we see everybody's metrics on what they're doing marketing wise. We see what they're doing overall. All right, cool. You're in a good space. Don't worry about it. Oh man, but Henry Hong literally went up to 25, $50 in like 3 months, not 3 months, 30 days time frame. Had a price raise. Shit, we're still fucking good. Fucking go up again. Shit, we're still good. Let's go up again. Nothing happened.
So what do you say to the people who see the content, the post, the testimonials, and they make the comment, show us the receipts? Because
Sure.
it's one thing to say this person's making 20K, this person's making 30K, this person's, you know, making 250 a cut. And it's easy to for people to say that or type that on social media. It's a little more tricky to prove that on a bank statement or a
Sure.
Venmo. Or what do you say to the people who are like, we feel you, bro, but just show us the receipts?
Well, can I share my screen?
I don't know if you can.
Uh-oh. I have a present option right here. I don't know if I can press that.
See if that'll work.
Will I press it? Will it fuck things up? Can I go ahead and press it?
Well, here we go.
I'm a risk taker. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Share screen. Easiest in 2 monitors. Share screen. Okay. Oh, cool. All right, cool. All right, motherfuckers. So, as we all know, here's Henry Hong. We got a little bit of a list. Everybody sees these. I also post all of the fucking results on the Instagram. Sorry, Marv, I'm gonna do a slight plug. Sharing, streaming. Can you see the okay, cool. So on here as well too on the Instagram. Like everybody's like, oh, I don't see results. I only post the same motherfuckers all the fucking time. You can easily, not that one. You can easily click into this. Oh my God, there's slides here. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now again, too, you can be like, okay, cool. Like these are just like, again, too, screenshots. Oh my God. All right, whatever. Henry Hong, again, too, 20K month. Scroll down. What do you fucking do? Here we go. Right. Henry Hong, again, too. Price raise.
It's not, I don't think, are you guys seeing this? I don't see it.
Sorry. Sorry.
Click where it said, share this.
Yeah, my bad. I don't know how to work this. First time on YouTube Live. So again, Henry Hong, 20K month. You got the screenshot right here. Over 139 units done overall, 20K a month, average 144. Henry Hong again, 5K a week, 5K. Got a couple from Henry Hong. 16K month, 16K right there. Sorry, another Henry Hong one. This is back in February this year, 13K. This was Joel. He was 20K months overall. 1, 2, 3, 4. This was like just again too when he first started hitting 20K months overall. South Bay Chris, this is weekly income. I know again, everybody's like, oh, it's not bank statements, yada yada yada. Look, again, too, do I tell these guys to put money in their bank? Absolutely. Do they want to listen? Not all the time. So we go ahead and have the stats tracked right here every single week. 4K weeks, you have a little 3K week, took a little time off, 5K weeks. Can scroll down. Here's again to South Bay Chris. I had him grab this from last month, August to September 4th, 22K overall. Here's Hamadi, another one of our guys. Here's a bank statement, 16K. Here's another one, 15K bank statement. Which one's this one? This one's Michael DeJesus, 15K or 17K. I'm sorry. This is Hamadi again, a 20K overall. Here's one of our clients, Anna, again, to not like bank statement 9K, had about 1,600 in cash overall. We all know how to do cash. Had 11K month overall. This was tough. Again, this was first month in again to this 3-1. First month in Miami, 3K. Again to last month overall. Or no, this is the end. Started this month. I don't know. Deposits 12. He made like 10K. I think the 12K came from like additional 2K and additional. So we're not going to go ahead and say he made 12K month. Luca, 9K, you know, it says 8K right here, a little bit more on cash tips overall, hit close to a 10K month. There is a bigger screenshot overall. Nico, he had a 3K. He had a little bit of screenshots down here. Total week was 3,200, but dropped the ball on recording cash transactions. Didn't know if you got that. This one right here, let me just zoom in on this. This one right here was one from our barbers, Paris. This was from this year. Was that June, I think? June, 15K month overall. And then we have another 15K month overall. And if, whatever 5 is, what is that, May, I think? And then let's see. And then this is just like Nicolo's a little bit more, again, to he had the cash collected thing overall. Just a couple that I went ahead and got, again, to in the Elevate Mentorship program. There's more wins in here. Again, not everybody goes in and posts their bank statements. I don't really ask for bank statements overall. I know everybody's like overall like, oh my God, like show us the bank statements, stuff like that. I'm not going to be so pressed on that because I know the results we're getting. At the end of the day, I understand that, like, look, I have everything to gain overall by posting results, but they have nothing. They like, what does the barber have to gain in posting that themselves? Nothing, right? So it's like, I'm like, am I physically going to their profiles, typing this out, and like, type this in, blah, blah, blah. No, like that's them go ahead and sharing their wins overall. Again, too, they're hyped up. They want to share that. Overall, I know we need to do better in terms of like getting bank statements. I know people are like, oh, what about taxes and stuff like that? If you guys want taxes, we'll do a better job of that too. But at the end of the day, I always know like motherfuckers are always going to doubt things. No matter what I bring up, motherfuckers are always going to go ahead and doubt whatever we're doing at the moment in time or want to throw stones at what we're doing. Again, too, I like to say, you know, we walk on water. And it's because people say it's because we can't swim. You know, there's always going to be an excuse of why we're not able to do something. But that just comes to the nature of running an online business, in my personal opinion.
I hear you. And one thing I can say is I've had a few people who have taken my social media course and have went and taken your program, right? And I want to say a couple things on that. First and foremost, for the ones that have spoke to me about your program, they've said great things about your program. They love it. I mean, one of your biggest advocates is young Polo. He loves your program.
Well, Polo's a man for the people, man. Polo's for everybody.
Polo was somebody that he took a while before he joined my course. He asked everybody, bro. He was DMing everybody in my course trying to figure out if it was worth it. Took him forever to do it. He came and joined mine. Took him forever to join yours. And prior to him joining, I didn't know anybody else personally that joined yours. So I couldn't really tell him much. Sure. You know, the same stuff you probably tell people is you got to kind of feel it out, go with your gut type of stuff. And, you know, a little more conversation, but there wasn't really much I could tell him because I ain't know nothing about your program. I still don't know much about it. I know a little bit more, but I know nothing. He ended up joining.
You saw the inside. You saw a little bit.
Yeah. He loves it. He loves it. There's a few other people that did my course and they love your program too. So from them, they've said great things and you have helped them. Certainly. Right. So I will say that. Second thing I will say is the one thing that people say a lot is they like compare what we do. And what I always tell people is, you know, when I say compare what we do, they say, I'm trying to think, should I do Marv's course? Should I do Deluxe's course or program, whatever. Right. And I tell people they're two totally different things, right? I have it's a $200 program. Do it. I give you the game. We have a private page. There's some interaction and stuff like that. But here's the information. Here's the plan. Do your thing, right? Yours is way more in depth of a community, right? Yeah. And you cover a lot more aspects of barbering, right? You cover some business stuff. You cover a lot of stuff, right? So they're two totally different programs. So what I always tell people is like, if you're feeling like you watch both of us and you're like, I'm trying to figure out which one to do, it would make more sense if you're feeling what Deluxe is doing, you're feeling what Marv's doing, it'd make more sense to do both because they're two totally different things. Mine's a marketing, which is gonna I know Dan teaches marketing too, but it's gonna help with marketing. But aside from that, that's what my course does. His is totally different, right? So I will say that. The other thing I will say is I think where people, because I get the doubting, right? Like we doubt. You're always going to have people when they see you walking on water, they're going to say it's because you can't swim. I agree. I understand. And I've dealt with it too, right? The part where it gets tricky for people, and I think the reason why so many people are suspicious is because you mention the same people over and over and over and over and over again. Now, if you figured out a way to, I guess, show some other people instead of saying the same people over and over and over again, people maybe would be less skeptical. Maybe that's not, you don't care, right? Maybe you're just like, this is working, this is what we're doing. This is fine. Point. I don't care. I'm going to tell you about South Bay Chris to the day I die. I'm going to tell you about Jay Faded, HH Barbers. You want to hear about Tough? You hear about, I actually sent a client to Tough, ask him about it back in the day. Last year, I sent one of my clients to Tough. Tough crushed it. He loved it. My client gave him like $500. He loved it. Ask Tough, I'll tell you. But there's people that are paying attention to you that maybe even if they want to work with you, them just hearing the same names over and over and over again, it kind of makes them just more skeptical because it's like, all right, who else is doing it?
I mean, like, I mean, it's a valid point, but I say, like, open your eyes. Like, I post on my story every day, at least additional 2 wins of people of every barber. I have on other posts. Again, I have those carousel posts where wins of other people, right? I think people like, again, too, the attention grabbing things of like 20K months, it jumps out at them, right? And like, oh my God, right? And
so is that more of a reason than that you do it for the shock value? Is that part of the strategy?
No, I mean, like, again, too, like I post Tough. Tough's not making 20K a month, right? Like, overall, like Henry Hong, when I haven't even posted, like, really, I posted a win, but I haven't posted he's made 20K a month, like, as a,
But you
as a
sell
Instagram
that though.
reel. Well, at the end of the day, Marv, like, look, like,
It'd be like me if I did my course and I'm like, I got 100K on Instagram, I got 300K on TikTok, right? I sell my social media course, but it'd be like me saying, you know, if you want to grow your social media over 100K, you know, DM me course. You want to grow your TikTok to over 100K, DM me course. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm sharing people who are only at 8K, 9K.
People are in their different
7K.
journeys, though. People are in their different, like, understand this. Like, dude, I get barbers, like, does everybody want to make 20K in elevated mentorship? No, right? There are people, like, I've taken on barbers who legit, they're working 3 part-time jobs, making barely a K a month, right? They just want to go full-time with barbering and not run the old school model. And we get them to that level in about 3 to 4 months, making 8K a month, and they're good at that level. Some people, too, they come in, yeah, they want to make 20K a month, but guess what? That's hard. Like, I think, again, too, everybody has the potential to make 20K a month if they apply themselves. Everybody has the potential to come out the womb to be an NFL athlete, to be a politician, to be an astronaut. But when the shit gets tough, when you understand what work goes into that, you start changing up your goals a little bit, right? Some barbers, they come in, oh, I want to make 20K a month. When they start seeing the hard work, the dedication that Tough has been able to put in, not even make it 20K a month, South Bay Chris, Joel, Henry Hong, all these guys that you see, it's like, whoa, this is a different level of seriousness. Maybe I'm not that serious about it, but I definitely want to scale up to a different level. And they'll go ahead and ride at whatever level they want to get at. I'm not saying, again, too, like, is our model going to come in and you in 2 seconds once you sign up, bam, you're making 20K a month? Fuck no. Like, it's taken Henry Hong. We started working with Henry Hong last year, like probably around way before this time last year. It's taken well over a year to get to that level. It takes a long time. And guess what? You have to have a lot of dedication, a lot of focus. There's a lot of no's that go into it too. You have to cut out a lot of stuff for your life, right? In terms of like distractions, and in terms of like, again, too, doing like these things that are like quote unquote fun, right? These vices that you have. Because again, too, getting a 20K business, yes, it is an anomaly, but it's not impossible. But I think when people see what they have to give up, they come to the realization, am I willing to give that up? Some people, they say, yes, no matter what, I'm going to get this goal. Some people, no. Look at fitness. I work with a fucking health coach, right? He coaches bodybuilders that go to the Olympia. Do I want to go to the Olympia? Fuck no. But I want to get in good shape. I want to have good muscle, right? Doesn't mean he's going to go ahead and is he ever going to post me? Maybe. I mean, I made some really good gains in the last year, right? But I haven't gotten posted yet. I'm not over here like, oh my God, like he's not posting me. Oh my God, this guy's terrible, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's like, yo, he wants to go ahead and market what the highest potential, what he can get somebody as a highest result. He wants to encourage people to do that, right? And I think everybody else below that is going to fall under suit. If I just said, hey, come in here, and if you're working 3 part-time jobs, we'll get you to quit all those 3 part-time jobs and be making you 8K a month in the next like 3 months. Is that really going to be able to, again, to get a lot of barbers like, yeah, let's fucking do this? No. Again, too, I want to do cool shit. I'm a guy. I want to fucking break the industry. I take my energy. I'm just Tupac in a fucking Red Wings jersey spitting on the fucking paparazzi. I'm out here with that fucking attitude. Like, you guys think this is impossible? Bet. Watch me, right? Watch what we do. And like, watch our process. Some of those people, they rise to the top. Awesome. It takes a while, though, to build this 20K per month business, though. Am I saying it's impossible, everybody? Fuck no. But I think everybody has that potential if they're willing to put in the work. Everybody has the potential from day one to become an NFL athlete, to do whatever the fuck they want, if they are willing to put in the work over an extended period of time.
Bro, everybody doesn't have potential to be an NFL athlete, bro.
100%. 100%.
No, they don't, bro.
100%. So Darren Sproles, motherfucker, was 5'6", right? 5'6", playing in the NFL.
You are that guy. You're that guy. You're the one when I have my 5'5" son that's in his first year of college going to try out for the JUCO team, you're going to tell him he's got dreams to make the NBA. You're going to tell him he has a chance.
I'm going to breathe confidence into him. Absolutely. I'm not going to crush his dream.
Is it confidence or delusion? At what point does it become delusion?
Confidence is delusion. Because confidence is going against the grain of what other people are saying is impossible. You got to be a little delusional. I think it's crazy not to be delusional, right? Like, look at some of the greatest people. Steve Jobs. You can say Bill Gates. I'm not a big Bill Gates fan, but like, I don't know why I said Bill Gates. Jeff Bezos. These guys were a little bit delusional. Man, 2-day shipping. Everybody looked at him and fucking laughed. You are a fucking joke. Same day shipping, impossible. Fuck it. We'll figure it out. Let's get it fucking done. Problem solvers. That's what lifts this world up. That's what lifts industries up. That's what creates new moguls. And I think that's what we have to do as barbers, right? We have to think audacious. I tell everybody, go at the end of what do I say? All my barbers in elevated mission. What do I say at the end of the industry? All right, boys and girls, end of the Q&A call. Keep on fucking up the industry. Stay fucking audacious. That's just the attitude. I live in that. I want to breathe that into people. I love that. I love that. Everybody who works in my company too. If they're an average thinking motherfucker, you're gone day 2 by the time I figure that out. I only want killers. I want dogs. When time gets rough, when shit hits the fan, what comes out? Your tail go between your legs, you become a fucking dog. I only want dogs on my team. I want to be around dogs. I think everybody has that in them, that little bit of an edge. They just need to wake it the fuck up.
And I agree with you in context. I do agree with you in context. And I'm, it's funny because if we're debating or we're going back and forth, people from my side, it's like that are not from my side, but for people that are listening to what you're saying or looking at me, they're like, yo, bro, you're just thinking small minded. So, and it's like your just mind isn't big enough. And, obviously I could sit here and argue as to why that isn't.
I think that's a terrible phrase to say too, right?
What?
So oh, you're just small-minded. Because I feel like it's so demeaning. I think as a person, just like, look, they're just not open to thinking that way, right? It's not like small and big thinking. Like, I think it's very demeaning, or like putting someone below you. Like, it's like, look, they might see things a little bit different. They have different things going on in their life that are restricting them from like, man, maybe I can't do this, or I've had this experience. Maybe that's not possible for me. They just need to be enabled, right? They just need to be waking the fuck up. I think everybody has that potential, though.
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, I guess that's where maybe we see it different, because I think it's a dichotomy, right? Like life is a dual in nature, right? There's up, there's down, there's left, there's right? There's, it's dualistic. So I do think that there is, that part of us that has to be a big dreamer and be unreasonable, but there's also that part of us that has to be reasonable.
What's reasonable? Fuck reasonable. Nothing ever has been created great that's come from reasonable.
Bro, if you're 4'11" in 12th grade, you're not going to the NBA, bro.
Great, awesome. Go, like I say, try, fail.
Why?
Because everything. What have you done? Like everything that you've done great has come from pain. It's come from embarrassment. It's come from these things that you wanted and you fell short of. And that drive and motivating factor is so key. I think
so. You're gonna sit there and watch that 4'11" dude waste his time day after day, year after year.
He's gonna learn some lessons, absolutely,
for sure. But then he's not gonna go to the NBA.
Wait, guess what? He's gonna have some confidence in him. He's gonna be a little bit cocky in some ways. He has to figure out how to adapt and survive at some level. And those are skill sets that are invaluable to everybody. And I think however you can build those skill sets, phenomenal. Get that thing done, because it's great. It might not be in the NBA. It might not be in whatever you want to do, but those skill sets, that pain, that regret, you're going to carry for the rest of your life, and that will drive you to never want to fail in the next thing. And I think that is one of the best things of a human experience we can have, failing at something.
I agree. I absolutely agree. It's interesting because I agree, but I disagree. You know what I'm saying? Like I agree.
What's the disagreeing point?
Because I don't feel like I'm being. I don't feel like I'm helping the 4'11" senior by trying to let him believe that he's going to go to the NBA. Like, I don't feel like I want to.
The world needs haters, Marv. The world needs people like you. The world needs haters, and they need people like me who are motivators. They need people.
It's where it's like, it's like the kid in school. So you're telling me the kid that's in school, that's in my daughter's class, that's saying they're a lion now, you're going to be like, roar. You're gonna roar to because then now
we're getting to different politics. I don't think we want to go down. We're not lions.
You're gonna roar because he believes he's a lion. You know,
that's a quick check. Hold on, homie. Right, you a fucking human being. Let's get back on topic real quick.
But okay, to me, it's just as delusional for the kid to think he's a lion versus the 4'11" senior to think he's going to the NBA. To me, it's just as wild. I understand it's different context for sure, but to me, it's just as wild. And I don't think it's like, all right, bro. Yeah, I could say, all right, Muggsy Bogues did it. Earl Boykins did it. Or I could say Spud Webb was 5'7", but okay, I guess I could say your probability is probably 0.1% of 1% of 1%. But I'm not gonna be down there doing push-ups with him like, yo, bro, you just gotta do some more push-ups and you're going to the NBA.
We'll agree to disagree. We'll agree to disagree.
I love it. So the world needs me and the world needs you in order to maintain.
Yeah, 100%.
To maintain perfect balance. Cool. How much longer are you trying to go? We're an hour in, an hour 5.
I'm cool. I mean, if you want to go another 10, 15 minutes, chat, how much longer y'all want us to go?
Chat, you want us to do another 10 minutes?
Like otherwise we're just gonna be talking to ourselves. That's no fun. So how long, what does the chat want to go ahead and do?
For the people that are tapped in that want to follow you after this more, where can they find you? What platforms are you on? Where are you at?
Yeah, I mean, Instagram, Deluxe. Biggest thing, probably No Bullshit Podcast on any podcast platform, Spotify, Apple Music. Try to be posting daily podcasts on there as well too. Not pushing YouTube as hard, but just those two. Why don't we get?
You said location doesn't matter.
Okay.
So you believe that?
So location. Okay, so we're gonna like. For me, location does and doesn't matter at the end of the day, right? I think location does matter depending on how you're running your business. If you're running your business, again, too, like a schmuck, like the traditional barber, right? Passing out business cards, like shaking hands, taking referrals, getting about 5-10 mile radius of people, absolutely location matters. Right? Because again, too, you only have that restrictive amount of people to market to and to get in your business. How many people are really going to pay $100, $200 for a haircut in a 5-10 mile radius? No matter location. It can be in Miami, Florida, it can be in New York, it can be in LA. 5 mile radius is not that big of a pool of people, right? Now, the way we show our barbers how to market themselves, they're getting clients in, again, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours away, sometimes 10 hours away on flights overall, right? And again, too, how much of a bigger pool? Much of a bigger pool of people are you going to be able to get in that 5 hour radius that are more willing to pay $100 a haircut?
Bro, 10 hours? You're going to say that, bro? 10 hours. They're coming from 10 hours to get a haircut.
100%. I was cutting with a barber who I'm not going to say internationally, but we had a barber that I was cutting with that he got a client off Paris, France. Said he found him on YouTube. He's like, dude, I was coming over here to Sacramento, California. Dude, I want to get a fucking haircut from you. I was like, holy shit, this is international, right? But overall, it matters about how you run your business. Again, if you're restricted to that 5-10 mile radius, absolutely. Location matters. You are restricted to your location. Take Tough, for instance. Location didn't fucking matter. He moved from Las Vegas, Nevada to Miami, Florida. Already making $10K a month, 5 months in. $3K a month in that first month with zero walk-in clientele whatsoever. Again, it's more dependent on how you run the business, Marv, not where you're located at. Again, I get the whole idea of you gotta be in busy location. I get my haircut from Tough. This motherfucker is in the middle of nowhere in Broward, right? And it's in a very weird fucking solo suite, right? No walk-in traffic. There's a little mom and pop diner, but you wouldn't be able to walk in there, right? So overall, yeah, it doesn't matter to me, but it does matter. I think the question is wrong. The question about location is the incorrect question to ask. The question everybody should ask is, how am I running my business? Because that's the more dependent factor on this thing.
How often is the people coming from
matters? What the fuck you think?
Do I think location matters?
Absolutely.
Yes and no. More so, yes. I think for the anomaly person, I think you are a salesman, right? You're a marketer, you're a salesman, you're a business person. Same thing with me, right? So location wouldn't matter in a lot of instances. Sure, there will still be times where location could matter for me and you, right? But for 99% of barbers, location absolutely matters. 100%. I mean,
because they run their business like shit.
Okay, so do you believe that you could take, you tell me the experience level, barber school, 2 years into, we'll say barber 2 years into the game, just out of barber school, in a shop that's a slow shop, doesn't have any clientele, was like, I wasted my time coming here. You believe no matter where that is, if he had you or she had you, that you could scale them to $20K a month. If they're in the middle of the hood of Baltimore, you could scale them 20K a month.
We had a guy who was in Baltimore, Maryland. We took him from making 8K a month to almost 16K a month in 90 days. Right now, what I'm not saying is we're going to be in the butt fuck middle of nowhere in Wyoming, where it's just fucking rants and shit, where you're going to be getting clients in at $200, making 20K a month. But for damn sure in those areas, you can scale past what the quote unquote market average for a haircut is. I think that's the terrible like reasoning that a lot of barbers give. I was like, oh, I can't charge that much. Nobody's charging that out here. I in Sacramento, California, the barber that's charging the most was charging $40, right? And then I went ahead and scaled up to 100, 150 a cut. So I think that logic is flawed. And now, again, too, am I saying again to any barber in the butt fuck middle of nowhere can do this? No, but you can definitely push the business way further past the points that every other barber is. I hate when barbers go and say, oh, but you don't know where I'm at. You can't do this out there. I'm like, great. How is everybody running their business? How are they getting new clients? Oh, man, well, everybody's kind of just passing out business cards, taking walks. Okay, basically, they're running the business the same way, correct? Yeah, 100%. All right, cool, awesome. Well, how are they going? Like, what are they all charging? Oh, well, they're charging, about 30, 40 bucks. So everybody's charging the same rate, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. How much is everybody fucking making? Oh, about 6, maybe 7, maybe 8K tops. I think top guys making. Okay, so they're basically making the same amount, right? 100%. So if everybody's doing the same thing, right? Why would you think if everybody's doing the same exact action that anybody's going to get a different anomaly result? That's ludicrous in my opinion, right? Somebody has to be able to go in, run a different business model, market themselves differently, run their business differently, and by that action, you will get a different result, right?
So for me, when I think of location mattering, right, it reminded me of like, if I'm thinking of how to build up a barber, right, it's mainly for me, and you could tell me where you disagree. It's a 5-part system, right? For one, I think you got to build on a strong foundation, right? It all starts with you getting the right mindset, finding the right mentors, finding the right places to educate yourself. I think it is imperative to obsess with personal development, leadership, those things. Learn those skill sets are super valuable, right? And when building on a strong foundation, I would say start and find a good, busy shop, a shop that has a reputable name in the area, is busy, so you can leverage their leads and leverage their name to help you build what you got to build. The second part, I believe, that is important is figuring out how you're going to acquire your customers, right? Lead generation. So what I would say is there's mainly 3 ways. If you can master these 3 ways, you're never going to struggle to get clients, right? I would say, number 1, getting involved in the community, becoming a familiar face in the community, right? You're in the barbershop that has the good name, that's reputable, get involved in the community. 2, Google, because people are going on Google and they're searching barbershop, barber near me, barber open, barber that does urban hair. They're searching on Google, build up a Google presence, get your Google reviews right, make sure Google looks good. And then, of course, social media, right? Because if you can master social media, it can help you attract clients. I personally think barbers are limiting themselves by using social media to attract clients, but that's a whole other life. I think when you close off yourself to such a small thing, you put yourself in a position to not be able to scale in ways that I have, ways that you have, using social media. We've opened ourselves up to the world. So I think by barbers just solely focusing on getting clientele through social media, they're limiting themselves. But I understand that barbers want to do it. So learn social media to attract clients. And then as far as getting them to come back, I think quality cuts, you don't got to be the greatest. Timely cuts. Most people don't want to be in the chair longer than 45 minutes, an hour. You're kind of pushing it. They start to think you don't know what you're doing. And then I think it's about
barber's head, though. I think that's all in the barber's head.
I'm gonna let you share where you disagree. Let me tap on these couple other things. And then I think you don't believe in customer retention, but I do to a degree. I understand that your client shouldn't run you. I don't think you should be a slave to your clients. I don't think you should bend over backwards, stay in the shop all these wild hours and all that for your clients. I don't believe that, but I do believe that retaining them is good. And I think the way you do that is by, doing your best to rebook them on the spot. I think it's important to educate them on products and use products on them. So that way you can earn income that way by selling them products. And then obviously price increases always help too. I think those are important to do as you're building up your demand and you're getting 80% booked out, 70% booked out. And then I think to complete it, to bring it full circle, we need good business practices, right? So you got to learn business, obviously track your income, track your expenses, hire a CPA, all of that fun stuff, be good with your money, do your taxes, figure out a way to leverage taxes to your advantage so we don't just continue to get screwed. And then I think it's super important to seek different investment opportunities and different ways to earn income in ways that expand beyond the barbershop. And more so my idea of what scale is. I think we look at scale different. I think you're saying scale as in grow, where I'm saying scale. It's like, you could open a barbershop, you could create another business, you can do some other stuff like that. But I'm also in agreement with you in that area where I do agree that barbers it starts behind a chair first. You got to build that up. Too many barbers are trying to do too many things at once. But as you're building that up, you're getting a steady, sustainable income. You're saving some money. You're doing some things right. Start trying to learn how to make money in ways that are more lucrative in the same way I did, you did. Like, we can sit here and talk about this $20K a month. And I know you'll agree with me. Everybody agree with me. But you have a lot more chance now making $20K a month doing what you do. Right. For you to make $20K a month doing your mentorship and all of your programs and stuff is a lot easier for you to do that than doing it from behind the chair. Same thing with me. If I'm scaling to $20K a month, I got digital products, mentorship stuff, other stuff too. It's easier to scale that way, leveraging the internet. So I think barbers, as they, get their income good and they're good. All right, cool. Let's look for ways to scale to create these larger sums of income. So that's some of, obviously I can keep rambling, right? But that's some of what I feel like what it takes to become a great barber. Where do you disagree? What stands out to you where you're like, okay, Marv, that's just outdated?
A lot. That was a lot. Well, I mean, I'll kind of go off the client retention thing, because I think this is like a big thing. A lot of barbers are always like, oh, you don't like client retention. They just get fucking big ass erections from this thing, right? I'm not big on client retention. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be a fucking dick to your clients, right? I'm not saying client retention, not be like a dick to your clients.
Hey, I see some of them posts though, which like, you can't afford it. You go somewhere else.
What's that? That being
language? That's my issue with some of the newer. One of your questions you were going to ask me is about the newer era, or not necessarily newer era, but newer age, younger barbers. I think some of the language is almost like, we want your business, but once we get to the point where you can't afford it, it's kind of like, forget you, kick rocks.
It's not forget you. It's just like, hey, this is my business. You can be a part of it or not, right?
I agree.
Like,
I just think the way to handle it sometimes is handled wrong. It's just like, it kind of feels like, well, damn, I've been supporting you for the last 6 months. Like,
look at some of the comments and fucking, if I don't mind barbers saying that, because of all the comments they're getting back, man. Shit, fuck, go ahead, right? If people are hating in your comments, I mean, like, look, you gotta have some type of like brashness a little bit about you, right? If that creates confidence in you, I'm all for it, right? It's not being a dick. If people are gonna be a dick to you, all right, I'm not saying to be a dick back to them and be like, oh, fuck you.
Defend yourself, for sure. I agree.
I don't think anybody's gone ahead and said, oh, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. It was like, yo, this is my price. I'm going to stand firm on it, right? It's at least some respectability, because a lot of people don't respect the barber industry, man. I think you know this. People don't respect when we go up on our prices. People don't respect what like our business overall. They want to come in late. If that's like, again, too, it's just business at the end of the day, right? And if they're going to get all up and tight about it and they're going to go ahead and leave, fine. But don't, like, let's not go ahead and get all like in this like world where like, oh my God, I have to make love to my clients and like I'm all about them. Dude, I love my clients. I said, like, I've had clients I'm still friends with. I used to cut hair, right? But like, even when I was charging, going on prices, they wouldn't come to me anymore. But guess what? I walk in the shop, they getting cut by a barber, charges $30. I'm charging $100. Dap them up. Dude, how's everything going? Phenomenal. Right? I think what people like get a bit bad rep of when they think of client retention, like, oh my God, I'm such a bad person to lose my clients. Dude, if you can have good relationship with your clients and not cut them, You can fucking go to the bar to them. You can hang out and go get dinner with them and catch up with them. You don't just have to see them in your business, right? And you don't have to hold your business back just to ensure that somebody's being taken care of. Somebody else can take care of them, but that doesn't mean you need to hold yourself back or put yourself last. I'm just saying put yourself first. Now, the client retention thing overall, if we can go back to that point, I think overall barbers, again, too, client retention is not the thing I preach to my barbers overall. Don't be obsessed. Don't get overly like, oh my God, kinked out about, oh my God, I need to give my clients this massage and like need to do all this. Like, because at the end of the day, everybody's going to act in their own best self-interest. Correct? Everybody does. So if everybody acts in their own best self-interest, at some point in time, when your business is not in their own best self-interest to go ahead and pay you whatever price point you're at, they're going to leave. Phenomenal. Cool. We're here to do a business transaction. We can have a good relationship. Now, again, I'm not all for the client retention thing and putting all that time into that and putting all the time and focus, because I think that takes time and focus away from understanding, again, too, how to market and generate a new client into the business. I'd rather a barber take that time that they're maybe coming up with how ways to retain clients that they're automatically going to lose once they go up in prices, and focus instead on the long-term vision of how can I generate new clients in my business at a higher rate and still be sustainable with income. That way, when I go up, I'm not going to be up shit's creek. Right? Again, this is not be saying go ahead and be a dick to your clients, but don't bend over backwards for your clients overall, right? Service.
It almost sounds like it's just like kind of like one and dones though. It's like, all right, well,
no. It's going to. We can say this. Everybody can agree this. People are in our lives for seasons, not reasons, but seasons. Some people are here for reasons, but seasons, right? We're not going to get in that bullshit. But I think the same way. Clients are here for seasons too. They're here for the season where you're charging $30 to $50. Awesome. That's their price point. They chose a life path of having a comfortable job, having a certain income and budgeting, and that's out of their budget. Some other person, this is in their budget. Awesome. They can come into my business. No problem. But I'm not going to go ahead and hold myself back because some other person doesn't want to go ahead and push their life forward either. The great thing about what I learned, because I had these same thoughts too. I'm like, oh my God, my clients are going to hate me. Oh my God, if I go up my prices, I'm going to be looked at as a bad guy. But guess what happened? When I went my prices, those clients left and went to other barbers. I got to see them. I dapped them up. The first time I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so awkward. Dapped them up. They're like, dude, can I talk to you real quick? I'm like, oh my God, they're going to tell me out. I'm going to tell me I'm such a bad businessman. Like, dude, I just want to say, I've been getting cut by you for a year, 6 months, 3 months, 3 years. I've seen you go ahead and stay comfortable. I just want to say what you are doing with your business, it's inspiring me. I decided to go and start my own business. I'm now going to go ahead and go for that pay raise. I decided to leave my dead-end job and go do something better with my life because I see you pushing forward. And because I've had such a great relationship with you for the last X amount of time frame, I see that potential in myself too. And I think it is such a special gift to somebody. I think for every single barber, you want to have impact. I think, again, too, if you want to be selfless, be selfish first, because the byproduct of being selfish is going to be selflessness. Everybody loves Nipsey Hussle. My first hip hop concert was a Nipsey Hussle concert back in 2013. We don't like Nipsey because he was a broke fuck. We like Nipsey because he was business minded, because he pushed himself forward, because he made money. And he also overall put himself first and brought a different mindset overall to everybody of like, hey, it's business first. You got to go get your money. And everybody was inspired by that. I think that's one of the best gifts that we can give to our clients overall, and to inspire everybody else is, hey, be more focused on yourself. Be selfish.
You're a motivational speaker.
I'm not. I hate motivation, bro. I hate motivational shit. 100%.
Like, you don't. No, you don't.
Shit out of my system,
no, you.
Right?
There's no way you do, because you.
No, I do. I think all the motivation shit is like it's all hype. And if you like, this is just how I talk to myself, right? Like I like, again too, like I get excited when shit hits the fan. I get excited when shit in the company is going bad. I get excited when let's say I get fucked over in whatever business sense. I'm like, bet. Let's see how great I can be. I think most people, when they come against shitty circumstances, tail go between their legs. Oh my God, why does this happen to me? This is a character defining moment. I define it as like, bet. All shit hits the fan. I can define who the fuck I am. This is my 23 Tom Brady moment. Let's fucking go. Right?
You need to just keep on your fitness journey, keep working out, and then get on a stage and yell at people, because you're
no, it ain't me, bro.
Bro, it is you. We've been live for an hour and 24 minutes, and I hear the motivation in you. Like
I just have that drive, man. I've just always believed in myself, right? And like I just have a high belief of like I can accomplish anything, and like I think that again, to everybody in the Illinois Men's Program, how you say so motivated? How do you say? I'm just like, dude, I'm like, I'm a curious kid. I'm like, shit. If I think it, I'm like, shit. Let me at least try this thing. I'd rather go down. I'm a baseball player, so I'd rather go down swinging instead of watching 3 strikes go by. The bat never gets off my shoulder at all. I'd rather take a fair hack at this, and guess what? If I swing and miss, fine. I have at least fucking tried.
Yeah, you see again. There you go. Your motivation. Yeah, bro. I asked you a question. You go into motivation. You have motivation, bro. Yes, you be motivated. I don't care what you say. You do. The pushback though, I will give with the client retention is what is interesting to me is I understand what you're saying to like I said earlier with obviously we want to make decisions that are in our best interest as a business, right? Because a lot of barbers do make decisions solely out of fear of losing clients, and it leads them to doing some dumb stuff for their business. So I understand that perspective and I agree with it. But at the same time, to act like client retention doesn't matter, to me, it's a little absurd, especially when you think about any company you want to think about that's a multi-million, billion, $trillion company. They're working on retaining their people.
No,
I've had this Netflix subscription for years. I've had, I've had Hulu for years. I've had Apple Music for years. The price goes up, I'm still here.
But because the product's good, right? But the product's good, awesome. But they're always trying to get new clients. They're not like, all right, cool. Now we're just going to focus on client retention. I'm a craftsman at the end of the day, right? I care about a really, really good product. So yes, the product needs to be good. I'm not saying you need to be shitty at whatever you do. But what I am saying is business doesn't work on client retention, right? Especially for a model where we're 1v1, right? We're a barber, we cut somebody in the chair. Again, too, it's not like, I don't want to be a barber cutting the same client for 50 fucking plus years. I would look at myself as a failure. I wouldn't want to be working with some of my clients in the Elevated Mentorship Program for 50 plus years. I want them to go off and keep going. My focus on, hey, acquire new clients, right? And I think that's the business mindset. That's the driving mindset. That's the growth mindset that everybody should take. And that's how you actually grow and scale a business. When you become customer acquisition focused, not client retention. Client retention, have a good fucking product. Make sure it serves your clients correctly. Awesome. But don't have a shitty product as well, too. Because at the end of the day, you can get new clients in, but if you have a shitty product, absolutely, the shit's going to fail. Because everybody's gonna be like, yo, fuck this thing, right? Again, a restaurant can have the most amazing marketing possible. Look at Fire, right? Fire Festival, most amazing marketing possible. Get all the new clients, all the new people coming to that. Shitty product, ain't nobody going to that fucking festival no more. The shit's donezo, right?
So when speaking about having a good product and making sure that we're doing our best to give people something of value, right? I agree. And I think it's important to do our best to make our products, whatever it is, haircut, our courses or whatever, our hats, whatever we're doing, right? We want to do our best to create a great product. Part of that is being open to feedback and paying attention to what people say.
100%.
And at least if as an outsider looking in, and I'm looking at you who has a product and you're working to empower barbers and help barbers, there's been tons of people in my comment section talking about Deluxe is spamming me. Tell him to stop spamming me. I've had to block him. He's been in my inbox. Is that something? Now I get you have a team. I'm sure you have a team. You're a busy man. You're working on growing it. You can't be everywhere all the time. So I'm sure you're working together. Is that something that you're going to pay any attention to and try to do differently? Or it just kind of just is what it is. If you don't like it, block me.
I mean, at the end of the day, look, like for me, like again, to a business, you'd be new client acquisition focus, right? At the end of the day, for me, DMs is a great way to get market understanding. I don't cut hair anymore, right? So I don't know what current problems are going on in the market right now. I don't know what barbers are struggling with. I'm also doing market research. How can we improve our product? Where barbers currently struggling with? What are the problems they're seeing, right? How is the market developing overall? Where can we get an edge overall, right? And again, too, if somebody wants to become a client off that, phenomenal. They can ask their questions as they want to. Again, too, I saw people like, oh, I blocked him. I'm like, I see your profile. Obviously you didn't, right? Who's lying in this situation? So again, too, a business always needs to be customer acquisition focused, right? Again, too, for your business, if you're not marketing to people, shit, you don't have a fucking business.
Right. I agree. So you gotta keep doing what you're doing. You don't care what they say. It's been working.
It's gonna rub some people wrong. Like it rubs some people wrong that barbers post every fucking day, right? Do we complain about all the commercials we see for all the businesses out there? No. It's like, okay, cool. This is what they do. We kind of just pay it no mind, right? End of the day. But again, if somebody wants to spark conversation, ask some questions, awesome. We're going to open that conversation.
Okay. And one thing that I do definitely want to ask you too, because again, I've been paying attention to obviously just what I see on my page and kind of the culture, the Instagram thing. What do you say to the people who, and before you answer this, I want to share a thought too, but what do you say to the people that feel like what you do is a scam? Now, there are people that anytime they see any program, online course, they feel like it's a scam before even trying it. Or maybe they did one, they got scammed once, so now everyone's a scam, right? So it is definitely something where I think how you're looking at things can determine how you view it for sure. And I've had people that, you know, I've had myself, I've done classes or programs or courses where ultimately I'm like, all right, this wasn't worth it. But either way, I took something from it. So I feel like personally, unless you're really diving, giving away tons of money, you can't really get scammed. I guess you could, but what would you say to the people who are seeing what you're doing and they're trying to attach that to your brand, like Deluxe is scamming?
Yeah. I mean, again, too, I think that people like that, like number one, you hit it on the nail on the head right there. Like number one, it's one thing I knew coming into like running this company. I'm like, man, what do people think of online businesses? Scam. Well, that's something I got to be okay with, right? Being called a scam. And I just got to make sure I do my due diligence to make sure at the end of the day, we have a great program, we have a great company, we get great customer results, we have great customer support. And if people on the outside want to say all they want to say, I can go to bed at rest, right? I think overall, like we got to define what a scam is, right? Now, a scam is basically a dishonest scheme or a fraud. To me, what is dishonest about this, right? You work with us, you show up, allow us to help you, and you get results. I don't know what's dishonest about that. Now let's go into what is a fraud actually, right? A fraud is a person or thing intended to deceive others, right? I think what deceiving would be is, hey, come into this program and in 2 seconds, you're going to make $200K a month, right? Instantly. So not only am I making an audacious like claim, but now I'm also claiming something we have never done. The only things I've ever said, making $20K a month, charge $100, $200 a haircut, is things we've accomplished with our customers, right? So I don't see where the scam, I can see where the scam or fraud thing comes to play because again, it's an online business. But when you back things up again I never said we can get to a barber to $200 haircut until we did that, right? I never said 20K a month until we did that. I'm not, yes, South Bay Chris has audacious goals of getting 50K a month. I'm not here saying, oh man, we'll get a barber to 50K a month. I even say we haven't done that yet, right? But we're working on it right now. So I think a lot of people, they reason by analogy. It's the simplest thing. Like you look at a chair, you're like, oh, a chair. You don't want to go ahead and break it down 4 legs, has like this weird seat thing, has a back brace. Oh, what is that? Oh, okay, where else have I seen this? It takes too much time, right? So if we want to reason by analogy, we can take a different example. Like, what do we all think of any NFL player? We can take any professional athlete whatsoever, right? Any collegiate athlete who might have a spouse, who might have a girlfriend, whatever that may be. What do we think of them? They're fucking hoes. They got rousters. They're just hoeing the fuck out all the fucking time. Does that mean every NFL, every professional collegiate athlete's a hoe? Absolutely not. We got the Tim Tebows who are virgins till they're 24, right? But we reason by analogy by the state. I think it's understanding, but it's also unfair to those. But again, too, like I said, I can rest easy at night overall. We have a great company. We get great customer results. I think overall, how can a scam be going ahead in the same business for 5+ years going on now, right? With all the customer support, which I'm sure is in the chat overall, how can they still be in business? I think a scam is going to be, they're kind of like fly by night. They're here and then they're gone, right? And again, too, for me, in due time, everyone will understand. So just give me another 5 years then, right? We'll see who's right at that end time.
So is it fair to say that if a barber hits 50K a month, is that what you're going to start saying? We'll scale you to 50K a month, or are you keeping it?
I'll say, we've helped barbers scale to 50K a month. Barbers can scale to 50K a month. But I'm not saying that right now.
You are wild. You are wild, bro.
Well, I'm wild about being if you have a star player on your team in high school, right? What are you going to be doing? Every single play, give it to the shittiest player. Give it to the shittiest player. You're going to feed that player, right? If this is the result, if this is the goal, right? Let's go ahead and say barbers, hey, this is the new flagpole. This is the new level we can reach. If you do the work, if you go ahead and apply yourself, if you take out all the distractions and apply yourself, absolutely that's possible. Can everybody do it? No. Again, everybody can go ahead and be whatever they want. But again, too, with the work, is everybody going to do the work? That's up to them.
So there's not one part of you that feels like telling barbers they can make 20K a month is a tad bit misleading. Not even a little bit. You don't.
Okay. Barbers can make 20K a month. We have barbers making 20K a month. So barbers, by that logic, can make 20K a month. Yes.
Yeah, right. But we've had people win the lottery too. If I tell people, like go buy a lottery ticket, go win the lottery.
Okay.
So for me, we've got people that
people
have
win the lottery too, Marv. It's not like this anomaly thing that doesn't happen. People win the lottery.
So from my position, for me, you're looking at me as a marketer, having worked with people in my program, the course. I can't even call it program because it's a course, but that have gotten to 200,000 followers. I should throw that in my marketing, or people that have schools that are now getting 20K a student, leveraging some of the techniques. I should throw that in my marketing. You wouldn't feel that would be misleading?
If you have a model that can get barbers there and they do the work, absolutely. Right? Absolutely. Well, we look at, again too, we look at Harvard. Oh man, Harvard. Oh man, they can get me. If I have Harvard, I can get a great job. Doesn't mean you're going to get a great job, but if you go to Harvard, you have that potential to. If you do the work, if you apply yourself. But when we look at an online business, completely different. And I don't get that. I think again too, like college. Again too, college has been around for a long fucking time, right? A long fucking time. There's a lot of people go into college, don't do shit with their degrees. I'm pretty sure there's barbers in this chat who graduated college, ain't doing shit with their degrees, are not doing the work with their degrees whatsoever. We're not calling that misleading. No, it's what's possible for them.
Would you feel like, or do you disagree with me when I say that in a way, at least how I see it, I feel like you're using the exceptions as the examples?
These guys weren't exceptions. South Bay Chris was making $4K a month, charging $30 a haircut. Joel.
When did you start the program? When did you start the EM?
I started the New Era Barbering back in 2018. I started EM, like the actual official, how it's designed right now, the design of the program back in 2020. So I started working with barbers one-on-one back in 2018.
Okay, got you. So, and the common names we hear are South Bay Chris, J Faded, Double H, and you tough a lot too. But mainly I'd say South Bay Chris, J Faded, and HH. You don't think they're the exceptions?
I think there are people who applied themselves. I think there are people who were dedicated to the work, applied themselves, and I think it's very restrictive to have anybody think, oh man, if I apply myself, this isn't gonna. If anybody applies themselves to wherever they want to, they can achieve it. I don't think that's misleading at all. I think that's again to enabling somebody like, wow, that's possible. Awesome.
Okay, so why not take it further then? I'm sure you yourself or somebody that works with you has made more than 20K a month. So why not take it further?
Joel's done 29K in a month, right? But again, too, it's like, what am I going to say? Come in, make $24,763.29.
So, I mean, I feel like that would be the next leap, right? 30K.
If we can get a barber to that, awesome. If we can figure out how to break that mold, awesome.
I agree. So we're at an hour 38. I think we went a little longer than even you anticipated. I know it's late for you. You're an early bird.
Yeah.
And I feel like we
who the fuck wants a part two? Because I feel like there's so much shit we didn't get into. Who the fuck wants a part two? Huh? This shit went too quick.
Chat, flood the chat with your thoughts and all of that. Is there anything before we wrap it up that you feel like you haven't said that you
I think there's a shit ton we didn't cover, Marv. I think we got too much.
What would be the one thing that you would want
on the bullshit thing of the 5'9" athlete or 5'4"? Chat, what the fuck did we miss? If you want a part two, what the fuck did we miss, huh? What the fuck did Marv not ask me that you want to grill me the fuck on? If you want a part two, you better blow that fucking chat up. Marv, take some notes.
Oh, it's over here. I'm watching. Shout outs to I don't know who I don't really know how YouTube work like that with the like people Somebody sent $5, so that got me a little bit closer to 20K. I'm a little closer to 20K now. I'm 19K, $995 away.
$5. You guys want a nip slip or something? You guys want to see a nipple or what? Damn.
So shout outs.
Drop an eggplant if you want to see a nip slip real quick.
I would say,
don't
man,
do this on my platform.
What you say?
I said, don't do this. Marv's like, don't do this on my platform. No nip slips.
Yeah, all right. So, guys, make sure you follow Deluxe if you haven't done so already on all platforms. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. A lot of people saying part two. So
if you want a part two, you better get some fucking topics that Marv didn't touch on, because you motherfuckers gotta give something to us. All right. We didn't even fucking go over like any of the stuff in the comments, whatever. We didn't have any. We need to probably
we didn't go over a lot in the comments because you had your EM people in here. I don't know what email or group chat you sent out, but they were sending.
I sent a story. I want the eagle emojis and purple
spam in the chat, and it's impossible for me to put them all on mute because they were in here sending all types of eagles and hearts. And for once, I tell you what, for once, I felt like some of these barbers that says, tell Deluxe to stop DMing me. I kind of felt like that because I seen a bunch of hearts, a bunch of eagles. I'm like, all right, if y'all don't why are y'all spamming? What are we doing? Why are we spamming? But that's why we didn't cover a lot. And they were also some of the questions they were moving pretty quick too. So maybe afterwards you guys can shoot us some questions that you don't feel like we covered or answered. My takeaway, at least from this one, I feel like you sell a lot of motivation, you sell a lot of hope, you sell a lot of dream big and believe in yourself. And I do think that's important. I think it's needed. If I'm being honest with you, each and every day, I'm trying to inspire myself in some way to where I'm brainwashing myself to believe more and more in myself. And I think that by nature is what you do. I think you've done a terrific job of marketing yourself, and you're a salesman for sure. I'll give you that. And you're smart for sure. I still think we're a little confused when it comes to some of the stuff.
Part two, then. Part two is bitch.
I think you just are so used to motivating that's where you go. I think you just go into just motivation.
I just believe in myself, bad boy. That's all.
And I don't know if you do that because maybe you just want to keep some of the stuff to yourself, and it's like, all right, well, come work with me and I can give you more, or if that's just your way of you doing, like, I'm just a motivation. You know what I mean? I don't know, but appreciate you taking an hour and 40 minutes of your time to spend time and kick it with the people. Is there any last thing you want to say before we wrap it up?
Yeah, dude, I appreciate you for opening up this platform too. I'm not on YouTube Live. I want to give a shout out to Marvy Marv. Drop some eagles for Marvy Marv for at least having this conversation overall, and overall make sure we have a platform to ask questions. And maybe we might do a fucking part two again too. Maybe we might have might need to do a post. You know what we might need to do, Marv, is like a only Q&A of fucking, you could drop on your story overall questions, get some, because I feel like the people didn't get their questions asked. I feel like that's really important. So maybe next time we'll do that shit.
Got you. So barbers, I appreciate y'all. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, make sure you do. Also, one last time, make sure you shoot Deluxe a follow on all social media platforms. Barbers, we'll be posting some stuff on our pages on IG, so be on the lookout for it. We appreciate y'all kicking it, spending time with us, engaging with us. The chat was moving quicker than, I'm experienced with, because y'all was moving. So if we do run it back and do a part two, part of the chat will be something that we discuss. I couldn't have anticipated it rocking like this. So appreciate y'all. Until next time, keep chasing greatness. Barbers,
keep fucking up the industry.